All right, I want to take a look at Pittsburgh defensive end Rashad Weaver. He's 6'5", 270 pounds. As a senior this past season, played 9 games, 34 tackles, 7.5 sacks, 14 tackles for a loss. And this guy is just a natural pass rusher to me, and I think he's pretty decent in the run game. Now I've only went through this Miami game, but he looks solid to me, and I know they have a good defensive end in Patrick Jones. The only negative I would get out of this game is that maybe he's undisciplined, but it seems like the Pittsburgh whole defense is undisciplined with gap responsibility. So maybe it's him playing the right stuff, and then the linebackers or the safeties behind not playing it well. But I mean, just on a pure like traits, I thought he played unbelievably well in this game. So we're gonna go through 11 plays that I clipped up from this game. I mean, it was just beautiful pass rush moves, multiple stuff, spin move, swim move, ripping through. Doesn't really bend the edge like crazy in this game, but that's partly because of the way Miami played him. So we'll go through it. First play. Forces this running back out. Bam. So let's go through it. So he plays into this inside shoulder. He knows that the tackle is trying to get outside of him. So he lets the offensive tackle get outside of him, but he plays into him. And then as soon as that offensive tackle engages, takes that right hand, rips, and then gets inside. And he's just got natural strong hands. Gets inside and then forces this running back out. Now, this is why I say, I don't know exactly what Pitt's gap responsibilities are. But if he plays this aggressively outside and doesn't hesitate, that forces the running back in. This safety can come up. But, I mean, Miami does a bunch of play action stuff. But instead of what happens is this running back is able to put a good block on 24. And they get a nice gain out of it. But it's not because of Rashad Weaver. And again, watch how quick it is, too. It's one thing to win with these moves. It's one thing to win as fast as he's able to. You'd like to see him make that tackle, but he forces that play outside. This next play, again, we'll see something like this similar Pitt would do. Is where they line up 2 guys in this outside gap. So these offensive linemen know that one of these guys is coming in into this gap, and you would assume that it's going to be Rashad Weaver, which it ends up being. But what's beautiful about it is because he knows that, watch, he plays inside to the tackle. So he occupies what the tackle is doing. And I don't know if it's a planned stunt or what. Gets down the line, forces a cutback. I mean, just watch how quick this all is. Occupies, attacks his inside shoulder. And so this guard who's, expecting him to shoot into this gap, who's kind of set, is left here doing nothing. And then again, watch, it's hard to see the hand, but the right hand grabs the shoulder pad of the offensive lineman. Left hand swims over. And what I like about him is he gets down the line. He doesn't run upfield. He does this consistently. Where it's watch where he's winning this, and then watch how he gets down this line. And he wastes no space, no time. Gets down this line and forces the cutback. And if he doesn't do that, if he plays this upfield a little bit, let's say he plays up here, we'll look at this hole that this running back has. And instead, he's forced to cut back. So let's watch that one more time in full speed. This next play, you got a draw. Ends up being a tackle for a loss. So this offensive tackle start trying to force him outside, because that's what a draw play is. You just want him to get up here or get around the edge, because your QB is running up the middle. But he sees that. He's a natural outside in rusher. Sees that, and I'm saying he doesn't waste any space. Gets down that line. Now he gets blocked. He gets down that line. He gets blocked because this guard has to occupy here. But this center is trying to pass 32 off to the guard. He's trying to pass 32 off to the guard so he can get up to this linebacker. But he's not able to do that because the guard now has to occupy Rashad Weaver because he's beating this tackle inside. And on a draw play, the tackle, I mean, all you're told is to make sure he gets upfield. It doesn't matter if he gets around the edge at 4 yards. Just make sure he gets upfield and doesn't get inside of you. Bam. I mean, look where the start of that move is. And he's able to get a piece of that tackle, too. This next play, I actually don't want to look at him. I just want to show how bad Pitt was at gap responsibility. Watch this linebacker. I mean, he falls for this fake and just leaves this gap wide open. And now you have two linebackers playing one gap. So this has nothing to do with Rashad Weaver, but I got so mad at this linebacker on this play. And look what happens because of it. Next play. He actually works well with Patrick Jones on this one. Patrick Jones does a bull rush that pushes the left tackle into the QB. Yeah, we got him right over here on the right tackle. And then a couple plays before Miami would throw a lot of passes out into the swing passes or like smokes and stuff. So watch as he puts his hand up because they just did that a couple plays before. Puts his hand up. But the QB King has to run. So watch as this right-handed this bench, he gets that one hand on there and he's got long arms. So he's able to push this tackle back, but he's looking for the pass, puts that arm up, and Patrick Jones we'll see over here. Sorry. Patrick Jones just bull rushes this left tackle here. So now King has to go. But watch his Weaver. So the tackle is engaged with him. I mean, you should win right there, the tackle. But he's got him right in his chest. And his right hand, you can see, I mean, he loves to do it. You can't see the right hand. But he pulls down on that right shoulder pad. And then watch the left arm. Swim over. I mean, fast. Violent. And then he should be teeing up for a sack. But this defensive lineman watches his left hand. Face mask the crap out of King. So they get a penalty and automatic first down there. Get a penalty and automatic first down. Here he's just playing run contain. Does a good job. Makes the tackle for a loss. So again, he's letting the tight end move outside of him. And just watch his leverage here. Watch how low he is. How it's low. Forcing this tackle to turn his hips out, which means like, hey, running back, if it's not inside, you're not going to make this play. Instead of blocking him straight up and have it either or kind of stuff, where it's like, if he's able to like push, if this tackle's able to push him back, it's like whichever way you go, I'm going with you. But at this point, because he's able to use his strength and leverage to like make this an edge. Well, now the running back, if he goes outside, he's screwed, and then he has a linebacker out here. So good strength and leverage makes the tackle. Here's the spin move that he loves to use. Again, we're looking at this side, sorry. Here's the spin move he loves to use. Ball gets out. Look where the ball's being snapped. And watch where the spin is happening. As soon as he sees that punch, that over lunging, see as the tackle's leaning, and that's not like something that's, strictly college tackles. I mean, NFL tackles lean. As soon as he gets that punch on him, on that shoulder, he spins. I mean, he wastes no time. Bam. That's at 5 yards. As soon as he feels that paw on him, that left hand, right tackle opens up his hips, immediately as this play starts. Bam, getting down the line. Here he just jukes this tight end right here with his hands and feet. Again, this is a coach may get mad at this and be like, "Hey, you're supposed to be playing outside of here because this guy is playing this gap." But just the pure, ability, the moves he has in his arsenal, you like that. I mean, never lets him get his hands on him. I mean, you see the tight end. It's, you know, maybe the tight end tells a story that he actually tries to stay and, you know, lunges at this instead of just letting it happen and getting out on the edge. So you make this tackle here, looking at 17. Again, it's these two guys on outside of the tight end. One of them's going to go in. It's Weaver. And watch as he just gets down that line of scrimmage. Yeah, he's not wasting. He wastes no time. I mean, as soon as that tackle goes for the punch, he's got his right hand on that shoulder pad, getting down the line of scrimmage. I mean, this is where he goes to engage. Right around here. Waste no time. Waste no time. Again, the spin move here. As soon as that punch comes, kind of knew where he was going with on this one. As soon as that punch comes, the tackle's got his hips completely open now. Spins, getting it at 5 yards. And just fighting through this play. You know how we showed earlier where, you know, this guard is sitting there kind of waiting for someone to hit this gap? Well, this time the guard doesn't do that. So he plays into this tackle. The guard doesn't wait this time, which is good on the guard. He's like, I'm taking the fight to you. And he realizes it, sets, gets low. And that just right hand with that left hand swim always comes back to that. Is able to get a piece of this tackle. Able to get a piece of that tackle. Should have got a holding call. So I really like this guy, man. Right now I was looking at some mocks that he's projecting the 3rd round. I could see him going in the 2nd round because teams like to take chances on guys that have real pass rush moves. A lot of times guys coming with ability, they don't have pass rush moves. Rashad Weaver has those moves, man. So I can see this guy going in the 2nd. And I think he'd be a good fit with basically any team that needs some pass rush ability, which the New York Giants are one of those teams. So if you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe. There'll be more draft stuff coming out. This was the first one we were rolling out. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time.